Let's talk some Wonder Woman spoilers. Because when a movie makes $100 million, it deserves to be talked about just a tad. Oh, and by the way, spoiler alert for Wonder Woman. If you have not seen this video, leave now. I have a spoiler-free video. The link for that will be in the description below. But for now, if you have seen the movie or you don't care about spoilers, join me and welcome. So how I want to do this video is I want to talk about my biggest dislike first and get that out of the way and give a little bit more perspective on why I didn't like the ending to this movie. And then I'll talk about what I really liked towards the middle and end of the video. In my spoiler-free video, I said that I didn't really like the ending because it just felt like an "oh, you did that" kind of ending. Basically, Wonder Woman's mission throughout the entirety of this movie is she has to find and destroy the god of war, Ares. She has to find Ares, and theoretically, if she kills him, then the war will end. And she believes that Colonel William Stryker from X-Men Origins Wolverine is really Ares. But it turns out he's not. It's actually Remus Lupin from the Harry Potter movies. I wasn't really happy with this twist because it just came out of nowhere, and I can understand that that was probably what they were going for, but even still, it was just kind of there. I would have much preferred if they did something where Ares was possessing maybe one of the soldiers, or maybe Colonel William Stryker. That would have been a pretty good ending. And then when she used the God Killer on him, the spirit would come out and say, "Hello, Diana," or "Hello, sister." I'm just spitballing here, but long story short, I thought the ending was not that good. It then goes into a giant battle, and it kind of plays into why some people just don't like where DC Comics movies are going right now. It's this big, bloated action scene loaded with CGI. I personally didn't mind, but I can see how people would say, that end sequence was not very good. Basically, Ares and Wonder Woman are throwing stuff at each other, and it basically comes to the breaking point moment where Ares is like, "Humanity is not worth your protection, join me in paradise," and all that, and she's like, "Thanks, but no," and then they destroy one another, or at least she destroys him. But even though I didn't really like the twist that it was one person instead of this other person, I kind of liked how they ended Steve Trevor's arc in the movie. They gave him kind of a hero's exit, if you will. And so whenever someone has a moment of reflection before dealing the last blow, I call that a Superman moment. And Steve Trevor had that Superman moment. And and they did it really well. There was very subtle music in the background. He had the gun pointed at the bombs, and he was just like, and then shot it. And then after that, Wonder Woman goes Super Saiyan on Ares and kills him. But let's move a little bit away from the ending, and oh, that's my cat. And let's go towards maybe the middle and the beginning, because I felt like the middle and the beginning of the movie was where the meat of the movie was. I personally think there was no better choice for Wonder Woman than Gal Gadot. And there was a lot of backlash when she was cast, but I was like, let's give her a chance, and let's see what happens. And she was great in Batman v Superman, and I would argue she's even better in this movie. There is this scene where Steve Trevor and her are about to go off to the front. She's in this train station, and she buys this ice cream from this salesman. It's really not that big a deal, except when she tastes it, she tastes it, and she says, "Oh, that's wonderful." And she turns to the salesman, and he's like, "You must be so proud." And then they're like, "Oh yeah, that they don't have ice cream where she comes from." And it was one of those little moments that kind of warms your heart a little bit. Because you remember that she is a fish out of water, and I believe that Wonder Woman did the fish out of water story very well. both for Wonder Woman and for Steve Trevor, because he was a fish out of water for a while when he landed on the Amazon's island. And that scene from the trailer where Diana says that she didn't have a father, she was formed out of clay and brought to life by Zeus. And Steve Trevor was like, that's neat. That was actually a really funny scene. And so I'm going to close out the video by saying that if you haven't seen Wonder Woman, I urge you, please go see it. I've seen it twice now, and I've enjoyed it both times. I believe this is the best DC movie probably since The Dark Knight, or Watchmen if you like it. I like Watchmen, but for me personally, I think Wonder Woman is the best DC movie since The Dark Knight. It's funny, it's got great characters, the dialogue is well written, the story is good, except for maybe the ending, and it's just a great superhero movie. And it's a great summer movie, too. So if you haven't seen it already, go check it out. It's really worth your time. But that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to follow me on social media, the links to my new Facebook page and my Twitter will be in the description. And if you want to see my spoiler-free Wonder Woman review, that link will also be in the description. Guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.